Where you? Oh yeah.
There we go.
That's
Now I can feel it in my giblets.
that's baby making music right there.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 90 of another Woodshop podcast, where we officially qualify for being the top 90 over 90.
Nice.
We made it, boys.
We made it. We're finally.
We were trying to
Aren't we
go
the
for
lower
top
90,
40, under
over
40,
90?
but Dan disqualified us.
We were over 40, under 40.
Something like that.
This is all very confusing. Hey, big thanks to our Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting us financially. You keep the show afloat, and we really appreciate it. If you want to be a Patreon or a patron, you go to patreon.com/another Woodshop podcast and check out what we have to offer over there. We've got early content. We got, content that you can only get on Patreon. We're not
There's
so
some
good
behind
about
the scenes
that.
stuff.
Sometimes, we're not so good. We're working on it though. We got.
And
some
we
crazy
really
stuff.
love you guys. Like,
Wait.
seriously, thank you. Sorry, Mike, I don't mean to like derail you, but like,
No, do it.
people, you guys literally support us every week. You take money out of your wallet, away from your families, and support
You
us.
steal it from your neighbor, whatever you do.
But like,
You
we
go to a
really
liquor store,
appreciate
hold
it.
them up.
You guys help us keep doing this, and I really, really appreciate it. I give thanks to you because it is the pre-Thanksgiving episode. Back to
It
you,
is.
Mike.
It's someone say Thanksgiving Eve. What's up, Dan? I know you got something to say. You're holding.
I was imagining a guy holding up a liquor store so he could pay his AWP Patreon bill.
The boys
Get
gotta
it,
do
my
it.
man. Please, it's a really good podcast.
The boys can't
Please.
stop.
They made sharp jokes on IG.
I just need 250. I need 250.
250.
So big thanks to you guys on Patreon. You guys are awesome. We got what else we got going on? I mean, we should probably just jump right into the reviews, I guess. I don't know. Is that something we should do right now? I think so.
I think so.
Pete? I think we should do that, but there's only one real way to do that, and that's by hearing this song right here.
Oh, Black Betty, ramble lamb.
It's so dumb, but it's so good.
But it's so us.
It's in the top.
Okay. Before we go
Yes.
on,
Yes, sir.
people have been using that song on IG for their reels and stuff, and I get tagged in it all the time.
Engagement.
Gold. It's gold.
Yeah.
No, it's great. And they're like, "Did you ask Daniel Dunlap for permission to use this song?"
He wrote it.
I'm beginning to get a little worried that people really think that's my song.
You wrote it on the spot. No, there's
because it is
I
my
mean, you
song.
wrote that song. You're the first person to ever come up with those lyrics in that order. Pete's got something to say.
We need to find the original Dan saying "What's on my bench" and make that a TikTok sound so that people can use it for the beginning of like,
Oh, that's a really good,
"Hey, I'm in the shop and I'm working on this
Oh,
project."
really good
or
idea,
whatever.
Pete.
I like that.
Cool. Pete, we finally got
Influencer.
his one good idea every quarter. So
Every
now he's
quarter.
tapped out for 3 months. So
That's
Q4 is
actually
looking good.
Q4. You're coming in hot in December. Okay, so
Are we
review.
technically in Q4?
I don't know. Who knows
I don't
how
know.
these things work? It's
In
fiscal
corporate
year. It's the
America.
fiscal quarter. Who knows?
Fiscal calendars
Fiscal calendar.
make me nuts.
Yeah.
Statements.
It's
For
Yeah.
go nuts.
It's
go-
open enrollment
go nuts
right now.
for
so-
donuts.
Yeah.
What is that? What it is?
Yeah,
All right,
corporate-
reviews. The first review is from Ed with Oak Ridge Woodworks. He has these 5 stars out of 5 stars to say FDA is the subject. It doesn't make sense. We're a woodworking podcast, but he's talking about medical stuff. So let's see what's going on here. After listening to 88, I'm convinced AWP is FDA approved. Oh, my feet have been killing me lately after a long day in the shop until I heard about Pete's shop footwear of choice. So now it's out with the boots and hello shop slippers for me.
Oh, yeah.
No more pain in my lower 10 digits. Thank you for specifying which ones. Wearing my new shop flip flops.
Heyo.
Hey, AWP is the new CDC. Oh, I thought it was FDA. Wait, no, CDC. Go CDC. Coffee, Dunlap, and Kapar.
Oh,
Thanks, Ed.
I like that.
Wow.
We're the
Well
CDC
played,
of
Ed.
podcasting.
CDC mandate.
Was that our only review?
That's the only review I can think of, unless you have
However,
something. Oh,
I
what?
have something
Shocking.
from our listeners over on Yelp. You know, we have a radio station in Omaha, Nebraska, and you can find it on Yelp.
Yep.
So David S says this, and David S is apparently from Omaha, Nebraska. Let me get ready for this. David S says, I am a plumber who installs bidets. Times were tough the last couple years. I had to sell my house, my car, and all of my tools to make ends meet. Then all of a sudden, requests for bidet installations came flying in. I'm doing 50 a day and I'm booked through December. I'm not sure who Matt, Don, and Paul are, but they saved my life. Thanks, AWP. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. We do
great.
expect 14% commission. So just keep that in your mind next time you're installing a bidet and some rich woodworkers in their bathroom
They're
right
going
outside of
into
his
wood
shop.
shops.
Let's talk about dream shops for a moment. My
all
dream
right,
shop
Scott,
would
how
have a
many bidets?
bathroom
One for each
and a
foot.
bidet in the bathroom.
Just the bathroom and then just a
One for each foot.
He would use it as an eye wash station.
Bidet, foot wash, eye wash, butt wash, all in one.
It's all about the hype.
Doc, yes, I got another pink eye. All right, let's do this thing.
Okay.
The next segment we typically do, and that's not going to change on this episode. We're doing it this episode too.
Fine.
It's
next
what's
week-
on my bench. I've got a doozy of a what's on my bench, and I can't talk about it until we hear this right now.
What's on my
Good Lord,
bench?
It's beautiful.
I-
Every time.
I thought you were going to go into it without playing it. I was about to yell at you.
No, I'm not going to do that. I can't start my what's on the bench. But I'm not going to go first because I never go first. I'm going to have Daniel Aloysius Dunlap, which is dad.
You were so close. So close.
Wait, what's your
What's
middle
your
name?
I'm not telling you.
Is it like
It's
asparagus
Hector.
or something?
It's Hector.
It does start
It's
with an A, and my initials
Alexander.
spell dad.
It's Daniel
What?
Alexander Dunlap.
Guys,
That's a true story. True
call
story.
in with your
I
guesses
know
at
that.
question next week.
I know Dan's middle name is Alexander. Dad Dunlap.
Let me
Daniel,
take a break from
alopecia.
what's on my bench. real quick.
Alopecia.
On his face.
Is that the pube grower
You can't
medication?
grow hair.
can't.
You can't grow hair.
I hate you.
It's
bro.
localized alopecia.
I was gonna share a very heart touching story.
Oh, sorry.
But now I'm
Touch
not.
My heart.
Wait,
Touch my
show
heart.
title,
not.
alopecia grain. So dumb. All right. Back
I
to you,
hate you
Dan.
both. All right. What's
5
on my
o'clock
bench?
alopecia shadow.
And we're back.
Alopecia shadow.
5 o'clock, alopecia shadow.
Okay. You guys aren't gonna believe this, but my week consisted
Bow
of
ties.
bow ties.
Nailed it.
Hey,
you
zebra wood
done
bow
that.
ties are flying off the shelf, yo.
That's great, dude. That's
That
awesome.
is really great because I charge $5 more for them.
Attaboy. Don't tell the people if they're listening.
I mean, it's an
We can just
exotic
look at the
wood.
pricing.
I mean, yeah, it's not a big secret.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you marked up all of them. But yeah, zebra.
And I've sold a few trays on the Etsy.
Attaboy.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's been a nice week
It is
over
nice.
here. Kids are eating. You're getting
Cool.
fat.
Let's just say they
I
got
did,
organic mayo.
Okay, in real woodworking news, because we all know CNC is not real woodworking.
Not woodworking.
Yeah, I've been told that numerous times. I delivered the floating shelf. I installed
Saw
it.
that.
I delivered it.
It had that secret candy drawer. That was nice.
Had a candy drawer on both sides actually. Two
Oh.
drawers.
You kept the one secret.
No, I showed them both.
Oh, did you? Oh.
It's funny every time I show like a hidden drawer or something, they're like, "Oh, that's a great idea," but you're showing the
Dan
internet.
came up with that.
You don't know where the drawer is. Like, you don't know where this guy's basement is.
I only rob houses that Dunlap built furniture for.
So they don't know where the drawers are. But I really like the way that came out, even though it was red oak, and
It
it
did
was
look good.
stained. It was stained that orange '90s stain
Yeah,
color.
man. So ugly.
But I
gotta
did
do it.
match it really well. I was really
Yeah,
proud of
okay.
myself on the
nailed it.
matching, actually. And then I went and picked up a hackberry live edge slab that I'm going to be working on here pretty soon.
The one that needs all the ramen.
Oh, I'm going to fill that with so much ramen, you guys. It's
I actually-
ridiculous.
I have hackberry in my, like 2 pieces of hackberry in my shop, and I don't really know where they came from, but it's beautiful wood. Like
It's really
pretty,
nice.
and
It's
I don't
got
know
a
why
lot
I
of
don't have
character in
more
it.
of my- Awesome.
Well, the good thing is,
So
Dan, you said it's not punky, right? It's like it's actually firm.
It's not punky. It's just got a bunch of damage from ants or termites. I really hope there's no termites left in that thing. I hope it was kiln dried properly. I
Spray it with Raid.
My client bought it from a local sawmill, and I went and picked it up. So
there's a sawmill around me that is notorious for having termites. They don't dry stuff properly at all.
Oh.
I have actually tell customers I won't work on slabs from their place because it's really bad. And remember, I had that one that came and the customer told me that it wasn't from there. And then I found all the termites, and I asked her, I said, "Are you sure it wasn't from there?" And she said it was from there. And it's
lovely.
But
lovely.
Typically, Dan, the good news is they don't typically leave the slab they're in to go to other stuff. So if they're in there and they have a home, that's their home.
Okay, that's good. Good news, I guess. I looked at it real close. It didn't seem like anything was living in there.
Fine. It looked like ant stuff, not termites.
It did look like I'm not an expert. I don't know the difference. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Well, if it was termites, you'd see termites.
There's a lot of bug damage on it. But
your bug holes. You got a lot of damage to your bug hole.
That's gonna be a pretty big project I'm working on here pretty soon. That client wants that sometime before the end of January.
Is that the one with epoxy as well? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
or melted
epoxying the crap out of that. So,
but are you like, is it gonna be live edges or you're encasing it?
No, it'll be live edges. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
for sure.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, but it's still gonna need a lot of epoxy. I'm gonna have to do some penetrating epoxy and then probably some clear. Client wants clear, which I'm not.
Go Lee.
Whatever. What the client wants, client gets. So
client gets it.
I got that in the shop. That's taking up a lot of room. And then last night I was out in the shop and I was just, working on Etsy orders. And my wife came out there and she goes, "Hey, have you made any cutting boards lately?" And I was like, "No." She goes, "I kind of want to make one." I was like, "Who are you and where's my wife?"
Yeah, right.
Like, what's going on here?
This is
so she came out there and we kind of worked together on making a cutting board.
That's cool.
It was kind of fun. Enjoyed that, oddly.
The slow game is on. Now you just got to get her addicted to woodworking and agree that you need more tools and bigger shop.
So I was like super overhyping like how much space I didn't have. Like I was like tripping over stuff. I'm like,
"Oh God,
oh no,
where am I gonna put this file? I got no more storage."
That was a fun game. Anyway, aside from that, I've been working on a lot of other smaller things, charcuterie boards, templates, what have you. So not that exciting of a week. I kind of want to hear about Mike's week, so I'm going to skip over Pete this week.
Yeah, that's fine.
My week has been dope. It's been such a good week. My power got turned on. I could not be happier. Like, I am so freaking happy. All this stress went away off my shoulder. It was amazing. I just feel incredible. So I had a really good week. I got been doing a lot around the property too with the tractor, which is awesome. I just love living here. I love it so much. I got that boomerang table delivered. I don't know if I talked about that last week.
You did, I think.
Did I? Okay.
Delivered.
Customer was super happy.
But it didn't come back to you, did it?
It did once.
No, it didn't come back to me, but it did get refinished a bunch of times. No, but I want to talk about that too. But anyway, that was great. She wrote a really nice review, which she's really great. So I really appreciate good customers like that. I've got to jump onto this this big redwood table that I'm going to be starting on here. I was waiting for my power to come on before I started.
Is that the one that's going to take a lot of epoxy as well?
Yeah, I've got the Total Boat Fathom in for that. That's going to take.
Tell me about Total Boat Fathom. Is that for deeper pours or what is that?
It's you can't pour it in anything less than 1 inch deep and up to 3 inches. Ooh. So if you want about 3/4 of an inch, you're going to want the thick set. So
what would happen if you poured it just shallow?
I believe it'll get too hot, and then it'll crack. And it'll look bad. Yes, I believe it'll get too hot.
Is it a single pour or a multi-layer pour for that? For the
one pour at 1 inch minimum to 3 inches.
Oh, so you could go up to 3 inches in a single
in
pour.
one pour.
Okay.
Yes, it's
'Cause, yeah,
minimum of 1
I'm
inch.
used to deep set where you can do
Well,
thicker,
thick set,
but you have to.
thick set is maximum of 0.75 inches. Well, actually, probably right now in the winter when it's cold, you could probably very easily get away with. You could probably get away with an inch, I would guess, with the thick set.
Dan does every
Um,
day.
Get away with an inch.
All righty, I'm checking out.
Okay, well, he's out of here. No, he said to be nice to him. Remember the naps? No, so the fix. So you got your total boat slow, which is what I use as my daily driver, and then you got your thick set, which will get you up to 0.75 inches or to 1 inch, depending on the temperature. And then you got your Fathom, which is new. It'll go between 1 and 3 inches. So I'm going to be using the Fathom for this. We're actually going to build a really tight mold out of melamine for it. We're going to start on that this weekend. We're going to build a tight mold around the live edge, and it's going to suck, but we're going to sand it back to live edge. The problem is it has a crack horizontally across it. So no matter what, wherever I pour this epoxy, it's going to leak out the side. So there's no way to fight it. I'm just going to build a form around it, and we're just going to fill the whole thing with epoxy and go from there. So, and the customer wants it to be like a really smoky opaque, which is hard to do consistently in a pour. It's going to be really tricky. So we're going to have to do some tests for sure first. It's going to be a costly pour, unfortunately. So, but anyway, back to my week. It's been really good. I've got a,
Dan, are you eating an entire pad of sticky notes?
Thank goodness for really good companies and being having good relationships with good brands. Bidwell is a brand that I really like. They're local to me. They're local from this area. I get all my C channel from them. They make really great C channel. They have a great store. They got Rampatech. They got all kinds of great stuff in there. They do all my bases that are metal. But I've been working with them more, and we're Coffee Custom Builds is doing it's 8 tables, but it's 18 panels for tabletops for them. We're doing that right now. I've got a couple guys helping me with that. So we're real busy with that this week. Power got turned on. What's today? What is today? Wednesday. Power got turned on Monday. Power got confirmed, and I flipped all the switches on the circuit breakers on Tuesday morning. And Sean, he's my friend locally here. He's a furniture maker. He goes by the name Pen Makers on Instagram, but he's been helping me in the shop the last 2 days, and we've been busting our butt making 8-quarter tops out of white oak, and that stuff is heavy. 8-quarter white oak is real heavy. So some of these slabs or some of these sticks, some of these sticks are like 12 feet long and 12 inches wide. I mean, we're maxing out the joiner. Some of it we're having to cut down from, like, I have one plank of white oak that's 18 inches wide right now. We have to rip it down on the table saw and down to 9 inches. We're cutting right down the middle. And anyway, it's just some really big pieces of
joint
wood
and glue up. Such a waste.
Yeah, we're cutting them down to 9 inches, jointing them a face and an edge, and then ripping them for the other one to get our parallel. And we're not planing because we're getting them all glued together. We're going to flatten everything on the CNC.
Oh, nice. That's saving you a bunch of time.
Yeah, it's going to be much faster. So getting all the panels made. Then on Saturday/Sunday, we'll be filling in everything with epoxy where it needs it. There's not a whole lot of epoxy needed really throughout it. There's not really hardly any. There's a few big knots and some punky spots that are going to need some epoxy. Going to get that filled in, obviously going with Total Boat. But that epoxy is going in on Saturday, Sunday. It'll be ready to start flattening on Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday we'll be cutting to final size and getting them out of here. So that's the plan with that. It's going to work really good, and I'm really glad to get those out of here and help a good business partner, or a good business relationship of mine over it.
That's going to be great.
So those guys are awesome. And then I wanted to talk about the thing I talked about last week, which is the Target Coatings thing. I spoke with the owner of Target Coatings today, and I wanted to say that first, I appreciate him reaching out because he called me this morning and he wanted to say, hey, I just wanted to give you an update that they have figured out exactly what the problem was with the finish, and it's been resolved. So they've done the new tests for the new formulas, and they'll have product out in the next week and a half to 2 weeks to start getting products back out there.
That's great.
I use their urethane a lot. It's a good product, and I stand behind it despite the incidents that just happened. It was, things happen. I mean, S happens. It just happens. So it's all about how you handle it to correct it, and he's correcting it. So I just wanted to give an update on that. So I appreciate him. His name's Jeff. I'm just going to say his name's Jeff. I appreciate you, Jeff. I know you're listening. So thanks, Jeff, for getting it corrected. And then, I mean, I just can't really overstate how happy I am to have my shop back. I really want to have my shop. I really love having my shop back. I really love the property here. I really love what I've got going on. I'm really excited about it all. And it's just, I said the other night to you guys, I wish you guys lived closer because, man, I just wish we could.
You just want the extra labor, really.
I think next year is going to be the year of like more.
I just really wish, like, at the end of my day after working, we could just hang out and just hang out at the house or something. It'd just be really nice.
Fire pit.
And then just like on the weekends, like I really have been having a lot of fun, like working around the property and stuff. I don't know how much you guys are into that stuff. I love it. Like I love it. Like cutting down the trees, burning and clearing and stuff. I just love it. I'm having so much fun.
I will participate in the burning and the drinking.
Yeah, like on the weekend, whenever you guys are here over the weekend, I'm going to be, I just can't wait to do that with you guys and just hang out and just chill. It's so fun. It's fun work. But anyway, tractor makes it pretty fun too. So I've been having a lot of fun on that tractor.
I think your tractor's sexy.
It is
all
sexy.
right.
I mean, dance out. No. Anyway, my week's been great. I'm really, really looking for, I don't know how excited you guys are, but I'm really excited about Thanksgiving. We have family coming over tomorrow. We got really close friends coming over.
It's tomorrow,
today's Thanksgiving Eve. I'm just really excited about it. I get to play around in the property all day. I got my father-in-law coming early in the morning. He's great. I love my father-in-law. He's a retired landscaper, and he just has a lot of knowledge about like upkeep around the property and stuff. And me and him have a good time working together. So gonna be able to play with him, or play out in the property with him and my son tomorrow. We're gonna get up early and start working out there and start having family over. Just really looking forward to 2 days off from the shop and then getting right back into it. It's been a good way. It's been 2 months without power outside of my shop. 2 months.
Has it been 2 months?
Time. Yeah.
Good Lord. Has
September
it been?
9th. September 9th is when we closed on this house.
Man, I didn't realize it's been 2 months already. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
well,
been
it was
2
either
months.
Take longer on a closing and pay 2 mortgages, or wait a little bit on the power. It sucks.
In a little over 2 months from now, we're going to be in Atlanta.
Yeah, we're going to be at Workbench Con.
Nice.
So it's been like 2 months of no power, getting done what I could. And now I'm up and running and it feels really good. Like I have a plan now. I've got what I'm going to get. I have a plan. I was going to start talking about that. I'm going to be building an outbuilding really soon. Actually, I'm going to be building 2 outbuildings really soon. It's loosely woodworking, but I'm going to be building a timber frame pole barn shed for my tractor.
Nice.
And I'm going to be doing a wood shed off my shop to start. So I'm going to make a wood shed that's like 10 or 12 feet deep and about 12 feet wide. It's gonna be like 12 by 12, right? But the door on the front is going to be 10 feet open, because I can use my tractor to just dump skids of plywood in there for all my sheet goods. And I can store all the wood around the back. And I can what's up, Dan?
Making a timber frame anything is not loosely woodworking. That is.
No, that's straight up woodworking. The timber frame, that's something I've never done and something I really want to do really bad. The timber frame shed for the tractor is going to be very, very simple and like an introduction to timber frame for me, because I have several timber frame buildings around the property I want to build. The timber frame shed will be my introduction to the timber frame wood shed I will build, because I want to do timber frame for the bar when I do the bar remodel out here. And then I was talking to Dan and Pete about this, but my wife and I are talking about there's this beautiful oak tree grove on our property with these 5 oak trees. We want to put a wedding venue there to rent out on the property. And I want to do we want to do a 20 by 20 platform. And I want to do that out of timber frame as well. I have to work out a bunch of stuff with the county on that, but I want to start like doing these different timber frame projects around my property, and I think it'll just be really sick. So, and I want to do a little tiny timber frame like island for my barbecues over by the patio, which would be really cool too. Just like a covering areas where I can go where it's raining.
Timber
and stuff,
frame everything.
It's so sick. Like it just looks so
timber
cool.
frame cabinets.
Timber frame charcuterie boards. Show title.
Timber frame bidets.
Timber. Okay.
frame
Ah,
bidet.
so many splinters.
So,
Anyway, I'm just really excited over here. I'm really lucky. I'm a really lucky guy. I don't want to get too cheesy with the Thanksgiving stuff, but I really am thankful for a lot of stuff. I'm thankful for all the support I get in this community. Really good friends, Dan and Pete. You guys are awesome. My family is just amazing. Obviously, I have really great support, family and friends, and I'm just a lucky dude. So I'm really thankful for that. So I just want to say that real quick. And that's kind of what's been on my mind this week, because that's kind of what we're supposed to be thinking about. Just
Oh,
really,
sure. Now I feel like a bozo for not bringing that up.
well, no.
I'm thankful.
Lose.
Go on.
You want to toss it back to Dan. He's got some stuff to say.
Dan, back
I'm
to you.
thankful for all the things.
For
Okay,
Max.
Pete, what about you? How's your week?
Uh,
I did something good. Now I'm the bad guy because Dan feels bad.
yeah. As is traditional for me to go after Mike, I'm gonna parrot a lot of what he says. Whereas like I had a really good week. I didn't get power hooked up. I already had that. Haha. But
Yeah, suck
no,
it, coffee.
so I had a really good week, but I have never been on social media so little as I was the last like week and a half. I'm not going to go too far into detail. I kind of mentioned it last week, but basically we had someone in the family going through some medical stuff. Everything is good. Everyone is good. Everything is great, but it has been very taxing and distracting on the family, on Emma's family and myself and my family. And I have not been here all mentally for the last week and a half. So everything is good now. So I'm kind of getting back in the game, but on top of all that, I have been very busy with just behind the scenes stuff. It just kind of makes for boring content, but like I'm revamping my Etsy listings. I'm going through making sure they're as SEO friendly as possible. Something as simple as I learned that your Etsy page has a title or quick little snippet you can put underneath it. Mine just said my handle, but it could be something as simple as like custom handmade items. And when there's a Google ad that they post, it'll say custom handmade items by Petrie's Workshop.
Really?
That's a thing. Yeah. Yeah. And they actually give you an example of it. So
Mine says home decor and bespoke furniture or something like that.
Mine says something
Handmade
about
decor and
bidets.
bespoke, something like
Yeah.
that.
So
Timber frame
do that.
bidets.
The little
Daniel
tip
Dunlap
for
Woodworks. Timber frame
everyone.
bidets.
bidets. So I'm revamping my Etsy. I am slowly working behind the scenes on my website to try to get that up and running because I'm tired of using Linktree. It's fantastic, but I want my website as the landing page. I need to do that. I've got a Squarespace site that I'm building. Very excited about that. Hoping to launch that before the holidays. Aside from that, I
Bad news for you, Pete. The holidays are tomorrow.
I know. Yeah, I was saying this in a pre-show, like, yeah, it all starts tomorrow, but I was referring to how we're all going to get fat, except
Christmas.
Mike, because we're just going to start eating tomorrow and then
I ain't
not
doing
stop
it.
till January.
Never again.
No. Oh, take old biddies. Take old biddies.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
if you're not watching this, you should be.
Yeah, you watch the YouTube / Another Woodshop podcast. Check us out.
Whatever this one's called.
But I opened up my doors and I've been having a lot of inquiries and I'm trying to say yes. I've always been a make then sell person. I always wanted to take the stress of like a commission off my shoulders because I get stressed out by it. But I'm trying to be like, no, I need to take on some commissions. I need to take on some work. I need to I work well under pressure. I just don't like the pressure. So
What?
I'm trying to take on.
Make sense.
Well, I do good work under pressure, but it does like in my all I think about is that thing, and it ruins my day sometimes. But I got a couple jobs lined up. I got a CNC sign that I got to do that we're actually working with the city because they want it in front of their business, and the city's very particular about any kind of signage that goes in front of the streets, whatever. So we're dealing with that. There's another thing that I'm currently quoting out a job for these. They're called dry ice tools. If you're watching the video, you'll see what I'm holding. And basically I need to CNC these things out of 1-inch Baltic birch ply.
I'm not going to tell you what I think that looks like.
Oh no, I know. Here's one without the handle. So
Springler.
basically, Yeah, no, these are just handles for practice ice climbing.
Will you bring that to WorkbenchCon, please?
I
reasons.
will. That's right. That's
Okay.
This is a boys medium, so it'll fit you.
All right, cool.
But I've been trying to find 1-inch Baltic birch, 24 millimeter Baltic birch. For those of you from Ash, that's for you. And it was really hard to get. I've called about a dozen places, and I finally ended up finding this place. I think I mentioned it last week. It's called Mendham Plywood. Started forming a great relationship with them. I have to put a massive order with them this week, but I'm waiting until this client that wants me to make.
What you got coming?
Well, I need a bunch of MDF. I need one of these sheets of 1-inch Baltic birch is like $240.
Whoa.
It's only gonna take one sheet to do that whole order?
One sheet does about, I can get a minimum of 90, but if every part comes off the bed perfect, 103.
That's what the order is for them?
The order is for about 50 of them, 50 pairs.
Nice.
I'm sorry, so 100. So 100,
nice.
100 units. So basically we were trying to work out of like, all right, what is it going to cost for me to just cut it out? What is it going to cost for me to cut it out, and basically sand it, round it over, and they want to, like there's some tight corners on this thing, and running that on a 1/2-inch bit, round over bit on the router table, it could get a little sketchy. So I'm trying to do it so that half of one side is completely CNC'd with the round over, and then the other half I would have to run over on the router table just to save myself a little bit of time. Basically, this job is mostly labor and mostly CNC work and some laser work. And it's a pretty big job. Big shout out to Mike. He really helped me out, try to get this thing priced out, because this is more of like what he deals with production jobs. And I'm trying to get into that. And this is good because if this actually ends up working out and they like it and they're good with the price, this could be a like 3 to 4 times a year type of job, which would be really, really cool and really nice little bit of income to bring it on the side.
That's great, dude. That's a great gig.
And it really helped me learn my value of like what I should be charging for.
You are valuable, Pete.
Thank you. And I'm thankful for you, Dunlap. What else? I'm making on the talk of laser stuff. I'm making ornaments. These are for family. They requested one of our aunts. She does custom Christmas ornaments every single year.
What is this, an ornament for ants?
And and she does custom ones from like random makers. She's been getting them over the years. So every time I've gotten her for Christmas, I've gotten an ornament from her. And this year she asked me, and I was actually very honored. And I'm not really looking to like make ornaments to sell, but I was very happy to make them for her because these are literally going to our entire, like all of Emma's family and my family. So I was pretty stoked to do it. So we worked out some designs, and it's going to be cool because it's all done on a laser, and it's all going to be combined materials. So everything between melamine, thin plywoods, hardwoods to give depth to the ornaments. It's going to be super cool. What up, Mike?
I had to do, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I had to do these. Please. I had to do these. What are they? Place setting words for my customer, and man, it is crazy on the laser. I always forget how poorly plywood cuts on the laser.
Yeah. Hardwood cuts
do
beautiful.
I can do almost. I can do a little over 3/8 of an inch thick on my laser with hardwood. I can do easy 1/4 inch or a little bit more with MDF. It struggles so hard on plywood.
1/8 inch plywood.
It's so bad.
Is it because of all the glue?
It's the glue.
Yeah, it's the glue and the ply. It's the plies mostly. I think because there's a break in the layers. I think that's what does it the most.
Yeah, and the glue.
There's a ton of glue in the MDF, but it's like almost so compact. It's like almost a solid piece of material. It's just wild how bad it is. Anyway,
I learned the hard way. Like the 1/4 inch plies that are just, it's veneer, basically just MDF in the center and veneer again. If you try to cut that on a laser, you start fires because you're basically just cutting through the top layer, and the inside is just catching fire inside.
It's burning. Yeah, it burns. It's bad.
It's bad because it's not quite MDF. It's more wood than glue, whereas MDF is very much a mixture.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fun fact I learned.
Dan saying interesting means he does not care.
Does not care. All right, and then the last thing is, which was my first thing on my list that I completely went over, but cutting boards. It's cutting board season. So I got a couple hundred board feet of lumber that I ended up starting to mill up this weekend. I got everything jointed and planed. I'm sorry, jointed on a face and an edge. I got to plane it and then start ripping it down to pieces. I have 4. Get this. So my mom goes, I need you to make 4 cutting boards, like these end grain cutting boards with our name carved or lasered into the, our last name lasered into it. She's like the one you made for these people. Like, cool. So basically juice groove, last name lasered into the corner. She goes, I need 4 of them. I'm like, that's fine. I'm not charging her. It's my mom. And then she goes, but one's for you. Like, are you really having me make my own gift? Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Bold. That is bold.
I'll allow it, but okay, because we've been wanting one anyways. But yeah, but the ball's on that one. And aside from that, just making a bunch of cutting boards. I have about 8 or 9 that people have requested, but you guys know when people ask you for a cutting board and you ask them like the wood, the whatever, and they're like, I don't know, a cutting board. So I basically told them, how about this? And I try to like not take actual orders. I just said, I'm going to make about 15 cutting boards. You tell me which ones you like and you get first dibs. And then the rest will go on Etsy. So that's basically what I'm doing with all these. I'm very happy about it. Yesterday I had somebody reach out to me on Etsy for 15 12 by 17 by, I'm assuming, 1.5 inch walnut cutting boards with juice groove and laser engraving that they need by the 6th. And I said, that's a little tight. December? Yeah, that's like a week and a half.
How many? 15?
15. And I was like, that's a little tight. I mean, she's like, oh yeah, well, let me know. And I said, well, here's this ridiculous price. And this is one of those moments of Dan, I very much thought of you, where it was like, I really hope they say no, but if they do, at least I won't hate myself for it. Yeah, because Dan often messages us and he's like, I really don't want to do this, so I quoted this, and then they're like, yes, please, and then we also want a cutting board or something with it. So it's crazy, but we'll see. If these people want to do the job, it'll be another big job. I'll actually end up hiring getting some help locally and just paying them out
for 15 cutting boards.
Cutting board help,
homie, knock that out.
Well, it's 15 cutting boards on top of the 12 to 15 that I was already doing, and this would be doing 2 weeks. Yeah, so it's between that and ornaments and CNCing these things. I would actually need to bring in some help.
You know what you need? More clamps.
I need more clamps. So anyways, Sean from Pen Makers is flying out. He's going to help me out. But that's it. Sorry, I actually had a busy week this week, and it's a lot of stuff lining up. And again, a huge shout out to these guys because they've been motivating me. I'm very thankful for these two because they've been motivating me to like take on jobs, something I was never really comfortable with. I always just like having fun and selling stuff, which I might go back to.
Do that if that's what you want to do, dude.
No, but honestly, I love, like, I make most of my big money around the holidays, and then the rest of the year I get to coast. I get to have fun.
You skate on it.
I skate on it. Yeah, I skate on the pool of money. Days. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for always motivating me and answering my questions when I'm asking about price. And like, hey, what do I charge for walnut? What does your lumberyard cost? Oh, I should have thought of that. Thanks. So big shout out to you guys. You helped me out.
I actually, this holiday season. Sorry. I was gonna say I've actually only had one cutting. Well, other than like bulk ones, but I've had one cutting board request for a private part. Oh,
I'm sorry. You stood in front of 8 giant cutting boards earlier when we were doing the live.
Yeah, those are basically cutting boards.
Tabletops.
No, actually, that's not true. My CPA is actually ordering a bunch of cutting boards, but that's
you graduated from cutting boards.
No, I mean, they're still fun. I mean, they're fun to knock. I like cutting boards are such a fun. They're just like a win, right?
They're way more fun with the laser too, because you can like engrave stuff.
Yeah, the laser you can actually, like you make a bunch of rectangles. You're like, all right, that's pretty fun. When you can put a laser engraving on there, it's kind of like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I like to use the CNC for, just to kind of like change stuff up. Like I made one not that long ago that had a bunch of curves on it and stuff.
The CNC is nice.
Yeah, automated tools make those things really cool.
Heck yeah, buddy.
Anyway. Very cool. Let's jump into questions. I want to keep moving.
We all had a big what's on the bench. That's crazy.
Yeah. Jay Leno. Hey. This first question is from Adam Barnett.
Shocker.
Hey boys, Adam here from Barnett Custom Woodworks. So it's Thanksgiving Eve. You guys are recording the podcast early. I have a really important question. Light meat or dark meat?
Pete, I feel like I already know the answer to this question about dark meat, but go ahead. I knew it, huh? It's dark meat, isn't it?
It's light meat.
Oh,
I
was
actually
way
like
off.
turkey. And for me, it's not about Thanksgiving dinner. It's about the next day.
The sandwich.
get
The moist maker.
The moist maker.
Moist
Thank
maker,
you.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Little bit of bread. You got the gravy. You got
Take your
for
bidet,
me personally,
wet it
and I
down a
think
little
everyone will agree here. Keep the cranberries out of it. Yeah, no cranberries allowed.
Gross.
Gross. Yeah, I just want gravy, stuffing, and turkey on bread. And if you want to jazz it up a little bit, some pepper flakes. That's it. It's all about it.
Flakes.
I don't know, like if you want to zhuzh it up a bit or put some hot sauce on it or something, but that really takes away from the flavor. Pepper flakes just give you a little bit of spice. Don't ruin the flavor. How about that gravy and stuffing and turkey?
I am so proud of Dan for remembering what that stupid sandwich is called.
Yeah, the moist maker. I was gonna work it in the conversation. Dan, what
Well, I think it's
what
a
about
show
you?
title.
The
Episode
moist
90,
maker?
Moist Maker.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. The Moist Maker. All right.
I'm a huge fan of the dark meat. Give me all the dark meat, maybe. The dark meat has all the fat, dude. That's where all the moistness is, in the fat. Give me the
Speaking
fat.
of making moist.
But I'm going to ask you a more controversial question. At
Uh-oh.
least it's controversial around here in
Big
our
year,
house.
Tupac.
Stuffing. Oysters? No oysters.
You mean the crackers or actual oysters?
Actual oysters. Do you put oysters in your
No
stuffing?
thanks.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of oysters. It's not traditional here. You just do straight up.
Oh, we
stuffing.
do oysters in the stuffing, man. It's great.
I honestly support it. I want to try it.
It's fantastic. But it's got, okay, so like, obviously I'm in Nebraska and we're not close to a shoreline anywhere. We do oysters in the can, and I will eat. So whenever I make stuffing for Thanksgiving, we put oysters in the stuffing, and I always buy an extra can of oysters just so I can eat them straight out of the can. It's fantastic.
I'm a big fan of like oyster dip. When you like make dip it. I'm a big fan of oysters. Yeah. Mike?
Okay, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No. I'm good.
I was gonna say, I actually like both equally.
It's the same for me too. But
Yeah, I don't really.
What a
care. I don't really
very
have a
politically
preference.
correct answer.
It's honestly like
Pick
if
a
someone
side,
gives me one in
Coffee.
front of me, I'm not gonna be like.
calm
I'm
down,
not gonna be
Green
like,
Party.
give me the other one. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like mad that you gave me the one.
Coffee's the Green Party of Thanksgiving. I like them both equally.
It's whatever. As long as it's good for the environment.
He's the cheerleaders at the football game. I don't care what side you're on. Nice.
Nice. This Thanksgiving is going to be interesting because of my diet. The family that's coming over, my wife's family that's coming over. They're making a bunch of dishes that are compliant to my diet, which is super cool. So we're gonna be having a bunch of that. But I'm probably my Thanksgiving meal is probably gonna be some turkey, and three servings of vegetables of some sort. And that's probably it. So for me, it's gonna be all about the family time. So I don't know. Light or dark doesn't make a difference to me. But thanks, Adam. I don't know what
What's
that's
going to be your
woodworking.
half a beer of choice?
I'll probably have wine tomorrow.
Ooh,
I'll probably be drinking wine all day.
classy girl. I like it.
Well, California
Yeah,
over
there's-
here.
I guess I pissed off Dan again because I drank wine. No, so it turns out like the wine scene down the highway has gotten really good in the last 10 years since I've been out of the area. And it's apparently in competition with Napa in terms of how good the wines are out there, which people are really liking. So
Well, you're in kind of like the mecca of wine and
yeah, so
America.
Sonora, there's Sonoma County, there's Napa.
Have you heard of
Napa's
Crescent,
number
Iowa?
We're talking about bottle, not box, Dan.
Oh, right.
one. Peter Vella, maybe you've heard of it. No,
Bronzia.
obviously Napa, and then there's Sonoma, but Sonora is like really
Mad
coming
Dog?
up as a really good place for wine.
2020. You heard it?
No, is that
Kind of a big
is that
name
like
in the wine
your running
world.
mate or something? Oh, okay.
Dunlap and Mad
Anyway.
Dog 2024.
Coney 2012. Anyway, yeah, so probably gonna drink some wine. Anyway, the next question is from Ed. Ed, before we get into your question, thank you for calling in. We love it. Every week you've been very good about calling in the last few weeks. If you could record your voicemail on your phone in a voice memo and then email it to anotherwoodshoppodcast.com, that would be awesome.
Anotherwoodshoppodcast at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
What did I say?
Just said .com.
Oh.
At gmail.com.
My one beer has got me all sideways. No,
wait till he gets into the wine.
Yeah, wait till I get the wine. It's gonna be sloppy seconds over
Ed,
here.
Ed,
No,
we got that phone number as like an SEO thing, almost as a prank. It's just cool to have it, but it sounds
the audio
so much
off
better
it
when you.
is really bad. So if you record a voice memo, this is to everyone, not just Ed. We're not singling you out, Ed. But if we like your questions, so if you could please record them on a voice memo and email them to us, it sounds so much better. Here's Ed's question.
We just want you to sound as good as you can, Ed.
Hey guys, it's Ed from E&J Creations Woodworks. So here's my question for you guys this week. So you're on a desert island, and for whatever strange reason, you have 220 and 110 on this desert island, and you could only have 3 tools with you. What are those 3 tools? Go.
Dan.
A jackhammer.
What are a Milwaukee leaf blower and a bidet. 220
leaf blower because I need
3-phase bidet.
I'm gonna need the
3-phase bidet. Oh, that's the show title.
So dumb.
That's my answer.
We'll have to make some tough choices here, boys. It's either gonna be the moist maker or 3-phase bidet. I don't know.
Three-phase bidet is winning.
Either way,
right now.
it's a moist maker.
Oh man. Oh, for real though. Bandsaw, table saw. Well, currently CNC. I need the CNC.
Oh.
Pete.
Bandsaw,
Jackhammer.
table saw, Marcus.
You are the
sander.
jackhammer. That's what I've heard.
I'm gonna go with the sander, Marcus sander. If I can't plane stuff, I might as well at least get it somewhat flat.
That's what she said. What?
I don't know, Mike. What about you?
Dan absolutely took my answer. It's CNC bandsaw table saw, like 100%. Like there's no question for me. It's those 3 tools. So thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good luck with all the splinters. I'm sanding my stuff.
I mean, you know, what are you can make?
My
you can make
CNC is
yourself a house with
awesome,
a
and it
CNC.
can
I just
get
Rubio
super-
right off the CNC.
Yeah, you just wish you
Good,
could.
really.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of can.
All right, this next question's from Nick Paccia. I hear it's
Pacci.
skinny and long.
Pacci.
Hey guys, Nick from the Working Grain. So moving into the new shop soon, as you know, trying to figure out the layout of everything, which includes dust collection. And currently I have the Dustright 650 CFM dust collector from Rockler, which has worked great so far for what I've needed. I'm just curious as to if you think it'll be enough in the new shop. The new shop dimensions are approximately 15 foot by 45 foot with about a 7 to 7.5 foot clearance for the ceiling. My plan was to run piping to a central location and then run hoses off of that center location to the individual tools that I'll be using. Just curious as to what you guys' thoughts are. Bigger dust collector, better layout. What do you think?
Dan.
Those dimensions are weird. Is that a crawl space or what? Like, Nick, I need you to blink twice if you need help. Or
All in next week and blink
Show
twice.
us on the doll where they
touched you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say you might want to upgrade, but you know, the such weird dimensions. I don't know if that dust collector you have is going to work well or not. Upgrade always. Pete, what do you think?
First of all, that's a shipping container. 15 by 45.
It sounds like it.
It sounds like it.
But the height is too low for a
7.5.
shipping container. They're usually 8 or 9 feet tall.
It's on its side. Somebody tipped it over. Is Rebecca tipping? Out here in Jersey? where they have the shipping.
It might be a tipped over
docks.
bus.
Oh, or it's that.
Over bus.
So what you need, my friend, your dust collector is fine for half of that shop. Because you're running 45 feet, even if you've got a really good dust collector, running just a straight 45 feet.
Yeah, that's a long way.
Bunch of ports along it. That's a long run. You need a second one of your dust collectors, and I think you'd be fine.
On the other end. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you just don't have enough, and that's a pretty long space, and you might want to look at a second unit. And it doesn't have to be the same one. You could go with something weaker. Maybe all your beefy tools, your joiner, planer, table saw are on one side and like a 15 by 20 space. And then the other half is like sanders and whatever. Maybe you can get away with a shop vac or like a nice, like, like a dust extractor vacuum. Yeah. Like something more decent, or just one of those like wall mounted small dust collectors. So figure out where your tools are going to be, or maybe move them around to fit in that. Mike, what do you think?
I think he could put the dust collector in the middle of the shop, so it's only like pulling 22 feet per side. But I think 650 is going to have a really hard time pulling dust 20 feet. So I think you're going to want to upgrade. And I would say if you're trying to save your money, get that Harbor Freight one, because it's 2 horsepower and that thing does pretty decent. You can put that somewhere in the middle of the shop.
I think that's 750. I mean, it's a little bit more CFM, isn't it?
I think it's 1400 or 1250 CFM for the Harbor Freight. Pete, can you look it up real quick?
Sure. And I have a question for you, actually.
So, but I think I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's 1250 because the next step up usually goes from 650 to 1250. Usually is what that is for the sizes on those. So I think that Rockler even has a 1250 as well as their 650. They have another machine that's another wall mount that's 1250 if I remember straight.
1550.
1550. Okay. Yeah, it's a 2 horsepower machine. It's
229.
It's significant, and you can roll in there and be like, "Hey, give me a coupon," and it's like 159.
Oh, right now this week they're offering like 25%.
Yeah,
on everything. No exclusions.
Yeah, you can roll
if you have
roll
their
in Harbor Freight, and then you can roll
the
Harbor
AWP
Freight and roll out of there.
You'll never roll out.
It's 179. I'm pretty sure is the sale price always. That's the number if I remember straight. I've never owned one. Take that for what it is. I just know people who've had them in the mail. So that machine would get you a long ways for pretty cheap. But you know, you get what you pay for. You're gonna be replacing parts on that thing pretty regularly, and it's not going to be an optimal experience. So,
they do last a decent amount of time, but at that cost,
they don't die. But
like,
you have
who is it that gets like a new Harbor Freight lathe, like Central Machinery lathe, like every 2 years or a year?
I think it's Nick, right?
Is it Nick?
Wasn't it Nick Paccia? I don't know,
or whoever. But like at that cost.
The Harbor Freight one is gonna be just fine, but it's the bag style. You don't have the hopper, which is a pain in the neck. You you have the bag to clean out it's the 1 micron bag instead of a HEPA. You don't need a HEPA, but anyway, spend the money on the good stuff if you're gonna. I mean, Nick, I know you're a guy who takes it seriously. I don't know what tools you have off the top of my head. I feel like I should, but yeah. I mean, you got certain machines that make crazy amounts of chips. You get into big planers and big joiners. I emptied my big hopper, my 60-gallon hopper, 5 times today. And there is a humongous pile of chips on the side of my shop today right now. It is humongous. It's unbelievable how much chips you go through when you're milling with a big jointer and big planer.
By the way, I just recently dumped like chips on my property for the first time since moving.
Yeah, that was
and I was like, yeah, I could do this.
Is that what you're going to do with those chips, Mike? You're just going to dump them on the side of your shop, or do you have any other plans?
I've got a big pile, and then I'm going to be putting them along. So, because walnut's like a really good herbicide, like it'll kill everything.
Yeah,
I'm going to be putting it. Nothing can grow. It has way too much nitrites in it. I can't remember what it is, but anyway,
nitrates.
Nitrates. Yeah, along my fence line, it has too much ammonium nitrate. So if you put it in a van, it'll blow up a building.
Oh. Okay.
No. One beer, Mike. Strikes again. No, no. But if I was gonna put it along all the chips along like the fence line and stuff, where I don't want to spray for weeds and stuff, and just different brush, it'll kill all that stuff.
Yeah, well,
because also we have fleas out, or the Luna got ticks on her, so we for the first time in Luna's life we had to give her tick medication, and it went away like really quick. But we have ticks out here because of all the brush, so. the property's completely been unmaintained for like 10 years. So I'm going to be using, I signed up with 2 tree companies. One of them is going to be bringing me chips. Well, both of them I signed up on their list for them to bring me chips. So they're just going to dump them over by the front side of my property on the top side. And I'm just going to use the tractor to start spreading them around the property. So it'll also keep down mud for walkways and stuff like that. We're going to do different walkways and stuff. And Robin, you guys know Robin likes to run. So I'm going to be clearing out a path around the property for her to run on. And I'm going to put chips down there. That'll be softer than the ground. It'll be nice and soft. So, but the dust, but who is it? It's Matt with Tools Today. He was doing a video for Tools Today, and Matt Plumley, and he was saying that because him and his wife, they live on property, he just dumps his chips on all their walking paths, and he just redoes it every time he gets to the end of one. He comes back around and keeps cycling through, and I was like, that's a killer idea. So I'm going to steal that 100%. So that's all I'm doing with it now. I'm just going to collect them. I probably got the pile I made today and from the last 2 days is probably 4 feet tall and 5 feet across.
Yeah, like joiner planer chips are definitely
the joiner. When you're doing 12-inch boards on a 12-inch joiner, dude, that thing 60 gallons fills up so fast. We empty that thing 5 times a day. That's 300 gallons.
Can you do on that? Like, because like obviously
I set it to 330 seconds. I set it to 330 seconds, but I mean,
I was running some
to never do more than
passes on mine on the I was close to like 1/8 inch. And I had to change out of my slippers. I know, serious. I had to put on my brunt boots because I wasn't getting enough traction. I was slipping back trying to push it through the joiner.
Anything over 10 inches
wide. I had to put my back into it.
Anything over 10 inches wide, I literally can't push it through by myself. I have to have help. It is
crazy.
Really hard.
You got to get Matt to sit up on top of the board so you got a little weight.
No, the weight's not an issue. It's just
how does Cremona do it? He's doing like 1/4-inch passes on his joiner. It's a massive joiner.
It's crazy.
I feel like Cremona's got Oompa Loompa help.
He's dense. He's
like literally
Cremona's dense.
He's 350.
He's like
4 foot, 5 foot.
He's like a neutron star. He's got a lot of extra weight there.
All that weight. All muscle.
No, it's really hard to push it through. Like that stuff it's a lot of chips we made today. And we're just about halfway done. It's an insane amount of chips. So
that's nuts.
And then the other thing that's good is we have a bunch of deciduous trees on the property, lots of them. They're just beautiful trees. They're all turning colors and all the leaves are dropping. I took all those and I put them into a big pile. I'm waiting for those to kind of mulch down a bit. And I'm going to spread those on walking paths as well, because they'll do the same thing. They'll keep weeds down, do the same thing. So that's how I'm managing that. What's up, Pete?
I'm going to go back to the Nick Paccia or whoever's question. Nick Paccia?
I think it was Nick. It's been so long.
Hours ago.
Yeah.
No, I have an actual question.
Wait.
It was Nick.
I actually have.
Was it light meat or dark meat?
It's right. No, it's this one. It's this one.
Nuts.
There it is. Right
there. My nips. No, well, the question I have is, and Mike, you might know the answer because I know you're picking a lot of people's brains when you're running your dust collection. You said put it in a center and you can branch it out. The thing is, there's so much potential for leaks if you have ducting that just splits out and goes in every single direction. Does increasing the amount of run you have, because it decreases CFMs over distance, but like, does that decrease your CFMs for your entire system then? Because if you're running your entire shop, I'm just kind of curious because like I will be running into that issue where I'm like, right, well, my shop is not that long, so it should be fine. But if someone's running a lot of ducting, the more ducting you run, are you losing CFMs? Because there's always some leaks or something. Yes, is there also like the vacuum it has to create on the actual system?
So my jointer has the longest run now, and actually it did at the old shop.
It did as well.
But the run now is 24 feet. Is 24 feet plus. It's 40 feet is where my run is to my jointer right now.
Wow.
And it's doing the job fine.
But you're running
I'm not getting like any chips blown out. I'm running a P-Flux 3, and that thing's a lot of CFMs. So, I don't want to tell people to run 40 feet on their dust collectors and say
what I'm asking is like,
running fine.
You guys agree that it would impact the system. The more runs, not even just
there's
longer.
No question it does.
But if you do 15 tool runs within 20 feet of the tool, like that, the number of pipes you're running through it. But what I'm saying is like,
As long as
the
you're using
more
your blast
runs
gates and
you're
closing them off, you're
having,
fine.
like, because I feel like blast gates aren't like a hard seal.
No, they're not a hard seal.
Yeah. So I feel like all of those points are reducing CFMs. You're getting leaks somewhere. Even if you seal all of your joints, I feel like you're losing air somewhere in that.
I don't know who's gonna have 15 of anything. I mean, I have a pretty big shop with a lot of tools, and I have 6 of them.
I plumb all my
6.
hand tools with 4-inch pipe.
Yeah, like there's like a lot of tools. That
My scrub plane has an 8-inch pipe.
But I'm
There
just
isn't a
kind of
lot
trying to have like
No, but you're right.
like-
If you add more of those breaks in the line, you're gonna have more issues for sure. Like there's no
Yeah.
question about it. But you really only need like 7 tools on dust collection, like 6, 7 tools. There's not a whole lot
Yeah.
that need them. I mean, really, you shouldn't have that many. I mean, I've got the 2 bandsaws, the sander, and then planer, table saw, and jointer. I have 6.
and
I just have
honestly,
6.
something
Oh, and
like
my
a
edge belt sander.
So like, let me ask you this: what about a belt sander or drums, or not even a drum sander? A drum sander does give a lot of dust off, but like a belt sander and a spindle sander, if you had those plumbed into your dust collection, do they really need all that CFM? You're moving very fine
No.
particles.
A
right?
spindle sander, typically, unless you have one of those big stand-up units, will not have a 4-inch port.
No,
So
the
they
spindle
usually-
sander, we
small
all have the same
port.
one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
uses a regular. I just,
Yeah, I
hook up
just put my
Festool to
Merca
it.
my Merca dust extractor.
You think
on
a
it.
drum sander though? What do you think of that?
It needs, so the drum sander, you want to really have good dust collection on there because it will
spits
the
it out,
dust
right?
well, the problem is it's really a lot of fine dust, but what happens is, in my experience, the fine dust starts to cake and build up, and then eventually gets heavy and falls down, and then it'll fall back on the abrasive, and it will leave burn marks on your wood.
You're
So
right.
if you don't
You're
have
100%
if you
right.
don't
I've
have
had
good-
that happen to me.
Yeah, so if you get that buildup and it cakes, it's not heavy as one particle, but when there's a million of those particles built up in one spot, they will just fall off the metal. And you really want that stuff getting out of there as fast as you can. I did a post, I was showing a picture of like, oh, I've almost got power on Instagram. And I showed that new sander I got, and that thing's got 3 ports on it. And
Yeah.
on the surface, like 3
Bonkers.
ports, that's kind of silly. Like, come on, 3 ports. But then I started thinking about it more. I was like, maybe it's not that silly, because I used to have that problem with my 2550 because I had that thing at the farthest run. And here's the other
Yeah.
thing: when I had my drum sander, I was not good about. I wouldn't close the other gates when I ran it,
Because you
sometimes.
thought fine
So I
dust.
It's
yeah.
fine dust is not an issue, but then I would get burning. Dan
It's
looks like he's
fine.
about to pass out.
It's fine.
Mike Nye, the science guy. Mike.
I'm glad we had this talk, because like we always talk about dust collection, whatever, but like
Write it down.
this is a good, like, because the second person in the last 2 months that we've talked to that has a long shop. And I think, long runs aren't always a good thing.
No, I think they're not a good thing. You want to get them, especially on these more hobbyist machines.
Yeah.
I mean, my
machines.
P-Flux 1 is a good machine, but it has limits for sure. My P-Flux 3 is a good machine, but it also has its limits. My P-Flux 1 with a 6-foot run to my CNC is a monster. Like, it works so good, but it's because it's on a short run. If
Yeah.
I had that thing on a 25-foot run,
And it's the only
I'm
run.
going to start seeing,
Yeah.
and I'm going to start seeing diminished returns. Yeah, there's literally nothing else attached to my CNC
100%.
or to my P-Flux 1 except for my CNC. It's perfect for that. It is such a great machine. The P-Flux 1 is a great machine. I really do like that machine. I had it for 2 years. It pulled my whole shop. The only time I started having trouble with that P-Flux 1 and it not doing enough was when I got that jointer and that planer. Those things make so much chips.
Well,
It
you got the
just
big boys.
physically cannot keep up with how many chips are coming out of that machine.
That's the one I'm probably going to end up getting. I was looking at the 2, but honestly, I was just getting the 2 for the
I'm pretty
bigger
happy with
drum,
my
the
P-Flux 1.
hopper.
It's a
I think the one's
great
fine.
dust collector. Like the assembly sucks. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
But
The
also,
assembly
I don't have the
sucks.
big planer. I don't have a 20-inch planer or the 12-inch jointer, so I should be fine
Yeah.
with the collection.
I have it. I'm very
Oh
happy
no, you'll
with
be
it.
fine.
Yeah.
You have an 8-inch, right? You have the 8-inch shear tech too, right? The
Yes,
jointer.
Yes, he
The
does.
jointer, yeah.
Yeah. So you both have the 8-inch shear tech. Yeah, you're gonna be totally fine with that.
Yeah,
I
that
had the
would be fine.
Powermatic 8-inch for a year and a half, and I was using my P-Flux.
No, I'm not
It was
expecting it to
great.
be, but I wanted to, like, that's the thing. I want to put it in one corner of the shop, hit it all the way to the other side of the shop. So
Your shop's 20
It'll be
feet
fine.
from one corner to
It'll be
the other.
Exactly.
You're gonna
Yeah.
do
You'll be fine.
great.
that's
Like, it's
21
gonna
feet.
be
21 feet.
It
Your
wasn't
biggest
an
issue
insult.
is
I'm just
gonna-
saying you're gonna be great.
Your biggest issue is going to be keeping that HEPA filter clean. Whenever that HEPA filter gets clogged up, then you'll lose a lot of CFMs. So you're going to want to make sure you keep that clean and clear.
The more I do this, the more I love HEPA filters, though.
What you're going to do, Pete, is you're going to grab that. You're going to take the HEPA filter off. You're going to walk to that edge of your cliff of your property, that 1,000-foot drop, and you're just going to blow it out. That's all I've been doing.
Nice blowy, yeah.
Nice blowy. We did that today with the P-Flex 3. It was disgusting. I hadn't cleaned it in probably 5 months.
Just keep in mind, you got to cup the HEPA, and then there's a little.
Big thanks to our Patreon sponsors. You guys are amazing. Thanks for checking out the show.
Are we done with questions?
Everyone, we hope you.
That's it. That's 3 questions.
Yeah, Pete went into cupping the HEPA filter canister, and I had to jump out of this quick spot. No. Thanks for if you're a patron and you're listening to this on Thanksgiving Day, big thanks to you. You guys are amazing. We really
thank you for ignoring your family.
Support. Yeah, thanks for staying away from those monsters.
And whoever's got a 4-day weekend, enjoy the podcast. Go listen to.
Yeah. We're gonna get this thing out.
YouTube.
We really appreciate you guys very much, and I don't want to be cliche here. We're really thankful for you guys and all your support you give us. So thank you for that. Check us all out on the Instagrams, the YouTubes, the Etsy's, the Pinterests. The what are we on now?
Space Hay.
Space Hay, and OnlyFans, whatever. Just find us wherever you can. But check out. We all have sales going on in our Etsy store, so go check that out.
Yeah.
I did want to make one more. I'll talk about it next week. Anyway.
No.
Big thanks. No, I'll do it next week. It's fine.
You're right. We're running out of time.
I know I mentioned it before, but the Jobber Professional Development Day is February 16th. Free registration is open now. It is really cool. I'm getting more information from Jobber about what's going to be into that. It's not going to be there's not going to be any sales pitch at all. It's literally just going to be free professional development tools where you can learn from other entrepreneurs and business owners. It's really cool.
Crazy.
I like their approach.
We hit 100 episodes.
Is that true?
Assuming we skip one around the holidays.
Right. We're going to skip one around the holidays. Anyway, I wasn't trying to plug anything for me. There's no value in that for me. I think if you're a small business owner, you're trying to take your woodworking to a business level, get as many resources as you can. Reach out to people on social media who own small businesses, other entrepreneurs, people you look up to, people you respect, and take as many of these classes as you can where you get free information. They're super valuable. I used to take free, the Small Business Association in our area does a lot. They do a lot for the community. I've taken many small business classes from there, and free classes tip. Like this are really good. Look for them. They give them at community centers. They give them at colleges. I've gone to many of them. They're very good. Take as many free resources as you can. You get to be really savvy, and you get to learn about a lot of things you just would not think of. And it's not your fault. It's not because you're an idiot. It's because you would never need. No one teaches you. Why would you need to learn it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You would never. No. Why would you?
Small business should be a class that you get taught in high school.
It should be a class. So, anyways, there's just take advantage of these things if you can. But anyway, big thanks to our patrons. You guys are amazing. Share the show. Share us in your stories. Eventually, we'll share some stories on the podcast page. That's a dig right at Dan.
We will share the stories. Tag us, and
we will share for sure. We always do. Big thanks to you guys. We really do appreciate all the love you show us. So,
where do you want your story shared at? An account with 2,500 people or an account with 77,000?
Yeah.
You're not at 100? Coward.
Not yet.
Because of your. No, you guys are amazing. Thanks for everything you guys do for us. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye now. Bye. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Love you long time.